Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear and listening into another video from me. And this time I'm going to be talking about the subject is something I've been thinking about for a little bit, and it was on my mind right after I did the video about Iron Fist being whitewashed, even though it isn't being whitewashed, and people are just overreacting and overstimulating themselves with their thoughts. And I wanted to talk about intention versus the outcome. Now, as much as I might as much as I might dislike these types of people, the SJW community, for the most part, the majority of them actually have good intentions. They're misguided as all hell, but they actually have good intentions. But what are good intentions when you cling to misinformation and use that as your standpoint for what you're trying to do? Now, me as a person, if I'm wrong, I'm more than happy to say I'm wrong, as long as the person that I'm wrong with isn't gloating about it. Then I'll be a stubborn jackass. I can't help that. But with the Iron Fist thing, with so many people claiming that Danny Rand should have been like a Chinese man, or the meme that was going around on Twitter where with Bruce Lee and saying this is who the Iron Fist should be. And I kind of wonder if they ever in their minds thought about checking the source material, going into and looking at what it was and seeing why Danny Rand is who he is. And I can guarantee you that the vast majority didn't. There were probably some that did, and then they probably quickly shut up after that. But the vast majority didn't. That's why we got so many reviews that come out and say, well, Iron Fist has been whitewashed. And that's why we have so many people clinging to that now and running with it, because they didn't go to the source material and find out the truth. This is very similar to the video that I just did and just uploaded. So think about that. And another thing, and this goes back to even when the SJW community jumped up and threw their arms in the air about the Killing Joke cover that had Joker holding his finger to Batgirl's face, where he was like kind of think he drew a smile on her, and you could see she was in tears and stuff. That was paying homage to the fact that the Joker shot her in her fucking spine and crippled her. Like, that happened in the comics. There was nothing about that where somebody was using one gender over the other. It was just paying homage to what happened in the series, and what was basically a revival story of that. But then DC buckled to that, which I still don't respect that to this day. DC buckled to that for no damn reason. Because they literally did nothing wrong. The artist that drew that did nothing wrong. But again, this is people not understanding or not knowing what they're talking about, and they're just using whatever little bit of information they get and they're running with it. And I can't say I have not been guilty of this. I've done it before. But I've started to learn, you know what, take a step back. Don't always immediately jump the gun. Take a step back sometimes. And I did that quite a few times before. Even on my YouTube channel, where I've had to come back and make a video to correct myself. But a lot of these people aren't willing to do that. They're not willing to go back and say, oh, I made a mistake here. Let me fix that. There are some that do, and then they get chastised by the overall community because they said, well, I screwed up. I made a wrong move. My bad. Or take into account a certain director. I'm not going to name him right this moment. I know his name. I'm not going to name him. He got chastised for making you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. He got chastised by the community for doing his job and portraying characters the way they're supposed to be, based on the material that he's using. Again, for doing his job, for telling a story, he got chastised. It's not like he actually went out and did something to someone or hurt anyone or made little of a situation where someone was done wrong. He made a movie and told a story. And then he had to go groveling back to these people for some reason, which I wouldn't have done. I wouldn't have. I'm like, no, I'm right on this. I did my job right. The people that were in the movie did their job right. Let it go. I'm not crawling back to you and groveling on my hands and knees and begging for forgiveness for not doing anything wrong. Again, though, that's because the intention is to point out wrongdoing and the intention is to correct it. But the result isn't that. The result is more or less a mob of people who have good intentions but don't know how to direct their thoughts. They don't know how to direct what they're doing in the right way. They just gang up on somebody because, hey, this person's done wrong. We have to expose that, and then we have to do everything that we can to make this person miserable. Does that make you any better than a bully? No, actually it doesn't. It actually makes you a hate mob. Because whether you believe it or not, when you decide to dogpile someone because they've done something that you don't agree with, or you don't have complete information and you are going off of something based off maybe sometimes not even half of the information, like a tenth of readily available information, or you're not patient enough to wait for more information to be available about something to actually decide to make a move about it, or to make a comment about it, or to make people aware of it, you're doing wrong. But that I just wanted to put that out there. I want people to think about that. So I know this is a little different from me, but I had been thinking about it. But thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears up for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out. And I have a daughter that I have to play with now.